Hi guys, it's Alyssa from Planet Alyssa, and I am here with an Amazon video today, not an Etsy video. I have had a few different people who subscribe to my channel, who watch my videos, request a video on how to go about listing and selling items on Amazon. And I was kind of hesitant to make a video on this because I don't really feel like an expert on it. And I think there's a lot of people who are way more knowledgeable than me. I'm still learning stuff about Amazon and still understanding it. Even though I have been selling on Amazon for a long time, I've only been doing FBA for, I guess, about a year and a half now. So I am pretty familiar with it. I'm at the point where I ship stuff into Amazon every week, and most of my income does come from FBA. So I guess in that way, you know, I do have some experience and know a lot about it, but again, it's tough to make a video on something like this because it is so complicated that I don't want to like leave out any important steps and people are going to go, huh, what is she talking about? But I'm going to try and do my best. What I thought I would do is try to take you through the whole process, from like listing an item to, you know, shipping it out. I won't get to sold because I'm not sure how long it'll take for the item to sell, and really that doesn't matter. Your job is pretty much done once you ship it out. And so I might actually film this video over a couple of days because I list things, but then they don't get shipped off to Amazon until I'm ready to do a whole big shipment of stuff. So that probably won't be for a few more days, might not even be till next week sometime. I'm guessing that most of you are familiar already with selling online, probably Etsy or eBay. And those two sites are very similar in how you list an item, you take pictures of it, you describe it, you set your price, your shipping price, you post it for sale, someone buys it, you pack it all up, put the label on it, send it off. It's pretty simple to understand how that works. In some ways, Amazon is much less complicated than that. It's much easier, I guess, to list an item for sale on Amazon, but there's a lot more stuff going on and a lot more stuff to take into consideration. I have a dog here. You can't see him, but he's scratching to be petted right now. So with Amazon, it's very easy to list things. It's all the other steps involved that kind of confuse people because it's not what you're used to. It's not like Etsy, it's not like eBay. It is its own separate thing. So I stopped at a thrift store today and did pick up a few things that are going to go on Amazon. So I'm going to walk you through listing some of these things. I have, let's see, we'll get a puzzle here because I have a puzzle to ship. And this is a brand new item. I don't know if you can tell, it's sealed up. The Giants, local football team, you might have heard of them. So it's kind of like a cartoon puzzle, it doesn't really matter. What did I pay for this? I paid $2.92 at the thrift store for it. And I can make money by shipping it off to Amazon. I scanned the barcode already when I was at the thrift store, so I know that I can make some money on this. So I'm going to show you how to list this item, which is a brand new sealed item. And then I also picked up some books while I was out. So I'll also go through listing with the books, which is not a new item, it's a used item. So it's a little bit different. Again, though, there's a barcode on the back. I already scanned it. What did I pay? I paid $1.50 for this at the thrift store. And I know I can make money selling this online too. One thing, if you are going to be selling on Amazon and you're new to selling on Amazon, you want to familiarize yourself with the categories that you're going to be eligible to list items in. So books and games are, by default, anyone's able to list those. That's why you see a lot of people selling those because, first of all, they're categories that do pretty well on Amazon. That kind of stuff doesn't usually stay in my inventory too long. Some of the books, they might have a higher sales rank, so it might take them a little bit longer to sell, but Amazon got its start in books, so people do know it as a place to find basically any book out there. So they have a pretty good reputation for that. And toys are just a popular item and do really well. But anyone can sell those categories. Other categories you are restricted and have to get approval in. I know now new sellers are restricted for grocery items and like health and beauty items. So you want to stay away from those items until you're approved to sell in those categories. There are other things like higher priced DVDs that have a list price that's over $24.99. You can't sell unless you get approval to sell those. What other categories? Power sports and automotive is a category that's restricted. And there are definitely a few other categories. So familiarize yourself, read all the information. You can get ungated, as they say, and get approved for different categories. But just to start out, you know, you probably want to start with things that you can easily list and go from there. So as I was showing you, these items do have barcodes on them, and that is how I looked them up. And that's how I'm going to look them up to list them on Amazon. Numbers, there are basically 3 numbers that are going to be linked to every item that is in your inventory on Amazon. And the first number is going to be the UPC number that is on most items. Books have had numbers on them long before other items have had numbers on them, starting in the 1960s, although they probably weren't more widely used until the 1970s. Every book that was printed got an ISBN number, which stands for International Standard Book Number. And these used to be 10-digit numbers. Now they're up to 13 digits. But that was how each book was identified, so publishers could easily identify like a paper book, a paperback copy from a hardcover, and you know, a new edition from an old edition using these numbers, because otherwise it was just getting too confusing. And so now that's incorporated into the barcode, although you'll still run into items that'll have 2 different barcodes, sometimes on books, also other things that sometimes use an ISBN number, even though it's a book, but it's not a book, like even like a game or a DVD. I've seen on all different types of items that'll have an ISBN number, even though it's not a book. But so you'll want to check both numbers sometimes on Amazon, because the one number will be linked to and the other won't. But anyway, barcode, UPC, or ISBN number on books are how you're going to look it up in the Amazon catalog. Now, Amazon also has its own standard number for every item that's in its catalog, and this is just their own internal number, and that's called an ASIN or ASIN, which is Amazon's number for it. And this probably doesn't matter too much to you. I mean, you can use it to look up items in your inventory or in the Amazon catalog if you know it, but if you have the UPC number, you probably don't really need to worry about the ASIN number, but that's Amazon's number. Once you list an item in your inventory, even once it sells, and if you want to list it again, you're going to have your own merchant SKU number for it that Amazon will assign to you. And that's your unique number. So you will use that for some things at some point, probably not just to start, but I use it a lot because I use repricing software, because I have a lot of stuff that I list and I don't have the time to sit there and reprice items manually on my own. So I use repricing software that'll reprice my items lower or higher, you know, within my own set parameters. And so to set those parameters, I use the merchant SKU number that I have for each item, and that's how I tell my software, you know, how low to price it, how high to price it, or whatever. So you might need that for different things. I can't think of what else you would use it for. I use it for some internal things that I do, just so I have a spreadsheet. Like I have some items in my inventory here that I haven't sent into Amazon, and I use that number in that spreadsheet that I keep just to see what I have here on hand. Now, the other thing I will say is I'm gonna try and do like a screen share thing, but my screen may look different than your screen. I'm really not sure, because all I know is what I see. The thing is, I've been selling on Amazon a long time, so I'm on their old selling plan. I honestly can't remember what they call it, but it's a little bit different than how it works if you're a new seller. The differences are minimal, but it may affect the way things look. I know they've just recently made some changes, at least for me, in how my screen looks. So maybe it looks more like the way a new seller's looks. But the concepts are pretty much the same, even if it looks different than how it looks for you. So to list an item on Amazon, you're going to want to go to sellercentral.amazon.com and log into your account. If you don't already have an account, you're going to need to create one in order to list an item. And the homepage of your account is going to look something like this. I mean, it's probably not going to show that you have one unshipped order, because if you're just listing stuff, you probably don't have any unshipped orders. And that's just a merchant fulfilled item. Most of the items I sell are FBA. That just happened to be something that was not selling for a lot of money, but I decided I could still make some money on it anyway. by selling it as merchant fulfilled. You're also probably not going to have a balance of money that's that's going to be given to you, but it's nice to have. Anyway, we're going to look at adding a new item. So if you go up to inventory up here, and it brings up a drop-down menu, you're going to hit add a product. Now I happen to have a barcode scanner, but if you're new to this, you might not have one, so we'll just type in the ISBN number for now. You definitely don't need a scanner to do this, but if you start getting into this and you're making some money on it, you want to probably put some of your profits into a barcode scanner because it'll save you a lot of time. Anyway, so I just typed the barcode that's on that puzzle that I picked up. I hit search, and here it is, the Fandemonium New York Giants team NFL puzzle. That's what I have in my hand, and so we're going to click this Sell Yours button that's next to it. It's going to bring up this page where we can add our product. Now, it does give us some information over here. It's got a sales rank of 1 million, which really is not that good. But I'm not that worried about it. I just have one of this item, so I'm going to be sending it in. It also tells you what it's selling for in the competing marketplace offers here, but this is a little bit misleading because I'm going to click on this and we're going to see what is really going on here. Okay, see this one, the new one for $13.50 is somebody that's selling it themselves, and their shipping is $5.49. So it's really like, almost $19. So if we click this here with free shipping, it'll bring up the cheapest fulfilled by Amazon listing, which is from Penguin Sales, and they are selling it for $19. So I'm not going to be listing this for any less than $19. So we'll just close out of this and get back to that screen here where we're going to list our item. So here we're going to select our condition. It is new. It is a brand new sealed puzzle. We don't have to put anything in the condition note because it's new. So this, condition note is where you might describe an item and what's going on with it. Well, there's nothing described because it's brand new, so you don't have to worry about that. So we're just going to put $19 here. That's what the lowest seller is selling it for, and we don't need to do anything else. Like here, if you match the low price, it would price at $13.50, which wouldn't really be accurate because your shipping is free on this item automatically. So all this other stuff down here we don't really need to worry about. Once you start collecting taxes, you're going to have to fill in stuff on the tax code. Here's the shipping method. If you were going to sell this yourself as merchant fulfilled, you'd select this box here and say that, and Amazon would set the default shipping credit at $5.49. But we don't want to do that. We want to send this off to Amazon and have them ship it out for us. So we're going to select that, and then we're going to click Save and Finish because we are done with this listing. So that's pretty quick, a lot quicker than making a listing on Etsy or eBay. The listing part is easy on Amazon. Now this is the first item that I'm putting in a new shipping plan. So we are going to actually have to create a shipping plan. We're going to do individual products. We're not doing case-packed products because we're just selling, we're going to put a whole bunch of things in a box, and we're going to hit continue to shipping plan. And so this is our new shipping plan, which only so far has one item in it, this Fandemonium thing. We're going to put one here because we have just one of the item. And once that's done, we can hit continue, and we are done with this item. So at this point, the item is listed, and I won't have to do anything with it until I'm ready to pack up my order to ship off to Amazon. So I'm going to stick it behind me in the storage bins, which I use for storing all my Amazon stuff until I ship it off to them. And so that's one reason that I say that Amazon is so much easier than Etsy or eBay, because listing something is so easy. It's all the other stuff involved that's kind of complicated. And I'm going to show you now that book that I have to list because it's a little bit different, and we'll show you how that works. So first off, this is the book we're listing, and just to refresh your memory about it, it is a paperback book. It is used. It's in good condition. It's nice and clean. There's no writing or highlighting inside, which is something you want to check for. No one's even written their name on the first page or inside the front cover, which you'll see sometimes with used books. But it definitely is used. If you notice, if we hold it like this, we can see the cover's got some slight curl to it. there isn't even really, there's really just very minor shelfware. We'll be taking that price sticker off of it, of course. And in fact, I just put that puzzle away and I didn't take the price sticker off because I'm not doing this my normal way. But normally that's what I would do. After I list an item, I'll take the sticker off. And usually I'll just pile up a bunch of items and do it at once, maybe while I'm watching some YouTube videos. So we're back here at the Add a Product screen to add another item to our shipping plan. And the item we're going to add, of course, is that book. And once again, I'll just type in the number on the back. I'm just going to type in the whole ISBN number because this is a book. I think I said ISBN number on the puzzle when it was really just a UPC number. I'm sorry about that if I confused you, but I think you can figure it out. So I think I just typed that correctly. I'm not used to typing, I'm used to scanning them, so if I got a number wrong, we'll see. Nope, there it is. There's Victory in the Pacific. This is the book that I'm listing. It's nonfiction book, obviously, about World War II. So we're going to click the Sell Yours button. And we're going to wait for that screen to come up. And okay, once again, here it is. Now look at the sales rank. A lot better than that puzzle, 127,885. That might sound high for books. This is really low. I know this book is going to sell pretty quickly. Now, this is a little different. Well, first of all, let's look at our at used offers on this book because this is used. We are going to look at free shipping. There isn't any right now available with free shipping, so that's pretty cool. Here's, you know, very good is probably all I would compare it to because it's better than good. I wouldn't say it's like new because to me it's not like new, but it's not acceptable. So they start at $8.50 plus $3.99 shipping for a used very good book. So that's our competition. So let's get back here. Here we're going to select, we're not going to select new anymore. We are going to select used very good. And now we will actually use this condition note field. So I'm going to describe the book, any of its flaws. I'm just going to say it's soft, whoops, I'm trying to damage the book. Okay, it's a soft cover book. We're going to say clean book inside and out because it is in clean condition. And we're going to just say slight cover curl. And that's really all we need to say about it. You can include a specific photo of your item if you want. I don't think this is necessary. I hardly ever do this myself, but it is something you might want to do, especially if an item is unusually damaged and you want to show the damage. Maybe if it's an older book and you want to make sure that the buyer understands what they are buying. Now the low price for used was $8.50 plus I think $4 shipping. I'm not even too worried about what I set the price at because, like I said, I use repricing software, so it runs once a day and prices my items competitively. I didn't even look at any of the FBA offers which would have been new and how much they were selling for. I think Amazon is selling this book right now. They have it in stock new for like $14. So we don't want to price it quite that high because it isn't new. But like I said, it does have a low sales rank, so it's going to sell pretty quickly. Let me see, I'll probably just price it at $12.99. And my repricing software might reprice it on me when it runs to a more competitive price, either higher or lower. But anyway, that's my price. I want Amazon to ship the item myself, or I want Amazon to ship the item for me, and save and finish. Okay, now this is going to look a little different because the last time we had to create a new shipping plan. We already have an existing shipping plan because we have that puzzle on a new shipping plan. So we're going to add this to an existing shipping plan, and then over here we're going to choose the plan. I only ever have one shipping plan going at a time, so it's going to be this one here. We're going to add it to the shipping plan, and we're going to continue. And once again, here we go, Victory in the Pacific, used very good. We hit 1. And you notice the total down here of the items in our shipping plan jumped to 2. And so we are done with this item. We're going to take off the price sticker and we're going to put it away. And we'll just hit continue there. By the way, on this screen, if you do have any items that Amazon has required prep for, they will let you know about it. Usually this happens, maybe you have like a stuffed animal or something that has to get bagged up, you have something breakable that needs to be put in bubble wrap, and Amazon will give you recommendations for that. But use common sense too. Sometimes Amazon will not have recommendations for something, but it is something that should be bagged or wrapped. And, you know, I've seen this like just this week. I had 2 different plush toys. They were, you know, just different models of the same toy. And one came up, you know, with a bagging required and the other didn't. But they're the same exact thing, so obviously they both got bagged. Anything that has like exposed textile surfaces, such as a stuffed toy, or, you know, like clothing, or, you know, anything like even like, I don't know, dish towels, something like that, is going to have to get bagged up. And anything that maybe is breakable or could get damaged in the warehouse because it's not totally in a box, you are going to want to wrap it with bubble wrap and maybe bag that as well. So this is all really I can do with the items right now. There's nothing I can do to show you more until I'm ready to actually pack up my order and send it to Amazon, and that's not going to be for a few days because it doesn't make sense to send just 2 items into Amazon. Generally, I have been lately sending about 120 items off a week to Amazon. You're not going to be doing that much when you first start, and I wouldn't recommend doing that much when you first start, especially your first order. You don't want to do too many things. I mean, I would maybe put a cap of like 50 items on your first shipment to Amazon, and you can definitely do way less than that. You don't want to do too few items though, because what's going to happen is once you have all these things, you know, in your shipping plan and you actually create the shipments, Amazon is going to break up your shipment into a few different, they're going to have you send to a few different warehouses. There sometimes seems to be no rhyme or reason to why Amazon does what it does, but they will break up your shipment into more than one warehouse, most likely. I think one time I had it where I was shipping to a single distribution center, which I didn't like because I shipped there and then the items weren't available because then from the distribution center they had to send them out to different warehouses, and I don't know, that was like just maybe like a test or something because they haven't done that since. But yeah. So what's going to happen is you'll have like 10 items going to one warehouse, you'll have like 30 going somewhere else, whatever. And that's just the weird way Amazon does things. I don't know how they figure out what they're having you send where. But for that reason, I would say you probably want to have like a minimum of like 30 items at least when you're shipping out your first time, and wouldn't do too much more than say like 50 because it's going to be tough to pack up the first shipment. It's a learning experience. Once you've done it a few times, it just, you know, you'll get better and better at it. It'll go pretty smoothly. But 120 items is about all I can store back here, so, you know, that's why I kind of try to do like 120 items a week. Sometimes I do 240 items a week if I'm really going like gangbusters. And the one reason I came up with the 120 is I don't have a special label printer. I print out labels on my laser printer over here, and the labels come 30 to a sheet, and I don't really like to waste labels, so I do try to think of things in multiples of 30. So for a while they were shipping like 90 items a week, and now I'm pretty much up to 120 a week. But yeah, so, you know, using the label sheets, you know, you want to kind of shoot for that 30 goal. It's not such a big deal because you can always use extra labels sometimes to cover extra barcodes that are on items, which you will come into, which you will find, or you'll find really giant barcodes I've seen too on certain products. I don't know why they do that, just to drive us crazy, I think. But yeah, so I will catch up with you, I think, in a few days when I'm actually ready to ship stuff off to Amazon. And I'll show you how to print out labels and how to pack up boxes and how that all works.